Welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you are a recruiter out on your own or just lacking general advice or mentorship, come to the right place. Our episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the strategies, and the support you need to become the very best lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now today, one day in recruitment can change your month. We know this. We all know this. But today I just want to remind you of that because yesterday I was reminded of that. I had one of those amazing, in the flow, nothing can stop me days. It was hard. It was tough. I got to the end of the day and I remember texting my wife and said, I'm coming home. I'm happy, but I'm at like 20%. I'm just going to fall on the couch. It was just a massive day, right? We full canvassed a candidate to clients. We picked up 4 interviews, which was amazing in itself. We sent another client 2 CVs for a role down in Wollongong, and they want to meet them both. So that's nice and stitched up there. We had an international engineer come into our desk, and we picked up an interview for them over in Perth. We also then secured 2 backup candidates for an interview that we have happening. So we really strengthened up that possibility there, and the client is keen to make a decision before Christmas. So stoked with that. We secured the candidate's a candidate CV for a client in Brisbane. Both sides are very excited, so that's great. And then the plan today is actually to take that person to market and pick up other opportunities for them. I got a contract for a candidate, closed them out. We got 2 offers out to another candidate, and they're taking one or the other. We're pretty certain which one they're going to take, but we couldn't call it yesterday, but it was there yesterday. So what was that? We got 8 interviews yesterday, 2 placements, 5 roles that I wasn't aware of, and that was all in one day. It was massive, and we love those days. And why am I telling you this? Why? Because this isn't me. This is not me bragging. This is me telling you this because it highlighted to me how important these days are for recruiters. Because you're not going to have those days every day. And if you are, good on you. But the day before, it was only 24 hours earlier, I was actually feeling a little bit, not stressed. Stressed not the word. I don't really get stressed. But I was very, very aware that our November hasn't been great. December's looking very good. But I don't like soft months. And so I was looking at that and going, I'm not happy where we're at. Maybe I need to lift my game, whatever. Whatever it is, it put a spark under my butt, I'm sure. And I rallied the troops, got the team, and yesterday was just one of those remarkable days. And not only does it strengthen what you've got on the go, not only does it create activities and generations to actually make more placements, it actually creates energy. Like energy creates energy, and it creates more opportunity for your pipeline. There was just so much good that came out of that. And I came in today really excited to go, yes, let's go. I've got so much to do. So I want today, my point is, the point of this episode today is to how do we fabricate that for you? How do you go, if you're listening to this today going, yep, one good day in recruitment is all it takes, but man, I can't see how that's happening. Because that was me 24 hours before this day, right? And I want to just walk you through a couple of simple steps that always help me. And before you know it, you're going, oh my God, I've got so much to do. So I am aware that some markets are doing really well, some are maybe shrinking a little bit, but no market's dead. I don't believe any market's dead. There's always something to recruit for. So let's get stuck into it. And you might want to grab, as usual, a pen, a piece of paper, whatever. You might have a deal sheet. You might have whatever. Just get a bit of something in front of you so you can start marking things down. Hit pause if you need to, and write these out. But I just want to give you a few provocations to think about and to realize that you've got a lot you can generate. And if you plan that out and you can and put a few things in place, tomorrow's going to be a really, really, really busy and good day for you. So the first thing we want to do, right, we want to keep you on the phone. We want to get you talking to candidates and we want to get you talking to clients. Why? Because talking to people gives you energy. I wholeheartedly believe if you're a recruiter, you belong on the phone. That is where we belong. If you are hiding behind your desk on in-mails, if you're hiding behind your desk on emails, text messages, tomorrow is not that day for you. Or this day we're building out, it's not one of those days. The day we want to create for you is on the phone, real time, real people, connection, push, that sort of thing. So any activity either on the phone, interviewing, canvassing, setting up interviews, that's all on the phone. That's great. That's what we want to do. Headhunting. What we want to try to avoid is sitting down for 4 or 5 hours doing LinkedIn emails. It's not going to energize you. It's not going to get that massive action that you need to have one of those mega days. Now, don't get me wrong, doing projects, doing the advertising, doing your written reach outs, all very important part of the process, but that's just not what we're talking about today. We want one of those big, massive actions, energy creates energy days, because there is still weeks before Christmas, and what we want is for you to feel that rush, strengthen your deals, and go. So, one, let's go through this. Have you got any interviews on right now? Have you got any candidate who is on interview right now? Okay, so write them all down. Yep, that company's interviewing that person. That person's interviewing with that company. So just make sure you know exactly where your interviews are happening, which companies and which candidates, right? Now, press pause if you need to go through that, and then let's go. The next bit will be, I want you to look at those candidates. I want you to look at those clients that are interviewing people from you. How many candidates have you got per brief? Okay, have you got one candidate interviewing with one client for one role? If so, I want you to put a little X and a little X, two little X's underneath that. And those X's represent two more candidates you need to find. Because if you can find two more candidates for that client, they're going to have a choice between three candidates. They're more likely to make a decision because the choice is now between these three rather than just the one you've got. And have you got anyone else? We really want to tighten up that process. So if you've only got one candidate interviewing with your client, you need to go out and find two more candidates, okay? And you can plan those calls. On the flip side, if you have look at your candidates now. How many interviews have you got for each individual candidate? So let's just say, so what I mean by this is if you've got like Cadbury's as a client and you've given them John as a candidate, we need to find a Mary and a Sue. So that they've got John, Mary, and Sue interviewing with Cadbury. Now, let's look at John. He's interviewing with Cadbury's. Let's flip it. Has John got other interviews? Is he interviewing with Apple? Is he interviewing with Google? Let's find John. If he's only got that one interview, let's go and find him two more interviews, okay? And how are we going to do that? We're going to take those three candidates, John, Mary, and Sue, and we're going to canvass them because I'm assuming they are the same skill set if they're all interviewing for the same role. I want you to take those three people and I want you to go, who are my other clients need this skill? And you're going to do a triple canvas. You're going to take those three and go, hey, done a search. They're only going to take one. I want you to have a look at these people and just do some canvassing and see what you pick up. Because if you can get those three candidates on 2 or 3 interviews, you've got this beautiful, tightly knit bundle of work happening here. And you're going to solidify it for your clients and you're going to solidify it for your candidates. And you're going to actually make more than one placement. So if you've got one candidate interviewing one client, that's the start. Weave it out. Get each candidate 3 options, get each client 3 options. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I could make 2 or 3 placements here. And that's the beauty of weaving out the stuff that you've already got on the go. The second one is you might have nothing on the go. And if you're sitting with nothing, you're probably freaking out a little bit, right? So what I would do, and I'm going to assume you know your market, we're going to go find a candidate. We're going to go to the back end of Seek. You're going to go to Open to Opportunities on LinkedIn, go to your database, and just find 2 or 3 people that you can interview ASAP. Reach out to them and say, hey, got some opportunities. Can we have a chat? Just get on the phone. You want to book in these interviews because what comes out of interviewing candidates? Where else are they interviewing? You might pick up some jobs. What are their motivations? Are they looking before Christmas? Energy. And then we start canvassing our clients. It gives us a real tangible excuse to be calling our clients and saying, hey, I know it's the end of the year. I know you're wrapping things up, but it's, shit hot candidate and they're looking for a move before Chrissy. Would you go and have a look at this guy or have a coffee with them or this girl before Chrissy and just canvass and try and pick up some activities and generate some work for these people. Secondary thing there is if you're not getting this person interviews, you might pick up other jobs that are separate to the candidate you're canvassing, but at least you're picking up jobs and it's an excuse to get on the phone. So again, this whole exercise, these big energy days, these big, days that can change your month are all about being on the phone and just connecting those dots and really just interacting with your clients and candidates so you get a good picture of what's happening, you get your finger on the pulse, things will start to move. And don't worry about the results in this day. Just do. Get to the end of the day and go, oh, okay, what did I do? Because worst case, nothing happens. But in knowing nothing happens, there's an opportunity to assess and go, maybe my market is dying. Maybe there's not much I can do, but you can create a plan for tomorrow, right? But you can't create plans off ideas or what you think's happening. It has to be real life. Like, what are my clients actually saying to me? What are the candidates actually doing and saying? If these candidates you pick up are on interviews, people are interviewing. Let's go. And look, failing all of that, let's just say like that doesn't appeal to you, that doesn't suit you or whatever. Write down a list of 10 companies or 10 clients that you love, that you know that you can pick that call up to and go, hey, I'm just doing the rounds. What are you up to? What's happening? Where do you need my help? What can you point me on for the next few weeks? Because I don't want to give up before Chrissy. What can I do to help you? We're not doing any hiring? Cool. What are your plans for January? What are your plans for February? Should I be starting to pipeline candidates over the break whilst we're all celebrating and relaxing? Should we be having those catch nets up and pipelining for your team? Because I'd love to come back and hit the ground running. When are you back, Mr. Client? In January. Oh, I'm thinking I'm coming back the 8th or the 16th or whatever. Great. You know what? I'll call you a couple of days after that and we'll grab a coffee and we'll see where we're at. But that's it. If you don't plan for massive action, guess what? The day slips away. And if the day slips away, you don't get the energy. If you don't get the energy, you just go into the next day flat again. So this episode is about massive action and you can plan for it. So if all you do today is plan for tomorrow to be the massive action day, great. But go now and plan it out. Who do you want to speak to? Which companies do you need to support more candidates with? How many more candidates do you need to go on Canvas so that they've got more options? You get the gist, okay? It's not difficult. You're probably already doing this, but I just want to bring this close and center. You want a day entirely on the phone. You haven't been on the phone enough if you haven't charged your phone at least twice. I want you to be charging your phone at least twice on this mega action activity day, because if you're not on enough. Or your headphones. My AirPods die 4 or 5 times a day. It's so annoying. I end up being on speakerphone half the time. My phone's plugged in non-stop. I think I was on the phone for about 8 hours yesterday. I want you to have one of those days, okay? Do it. Push yourself. Have some fun with it. But I guarantee it, the very next day is going to be so much better than you can even anticipate, because you've got so many more ideas, so many more things to do, and a hell of a lot of energy to fuel you into Chrissy. So that's what we have time for you today. Please like, subscribe, share this podcast. It really helps us grow. And do you know what? If you haven't followed, you can follow on your various platforms, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube or whatever. But when you follow us, you do get the alerts that the new episodes come up. Now, I don't necessarily think you're all going to listen to every single episode, but you know what? We try to make our headings as succinct as possible. And what that means is if you're getting those alerts and something pops up and you go, oh my God, that's actually exactly what I need to hear today, it's going to be right there. It's going to be a magic pill for the day. And that's really all this is about. I don't expect you to listen to them all. But when I deliver some content that's relevant to you, I want you to know it's there, right? Because I really think these things help people push their desks along day in, day out. So that's it. Have an amazing day. May all your deals come true.